fine. All the people ain't happy, and the river has run dry. You thought you could go free, but that system is done for. If you listen real closely, there's a knock at your front door. You'll never get free, lamb to the slaughter. What you gonna do when there's blood in the water? The price of your greed is your son and your daughter. What you gonna do when there's blood in the water? When there's blood in the beg me for mercy. Admit you were toxic. You poisoned me just for another dollar in your pocket. Now I am the violence. I am the sickness. Won't accept your silence. Beg me for forgiveness. Look me in my eyes. Tell me everything.
Welcome everybody to NWO Week 4. Their screen is a little bit, they can't see the gameplay. All right, everybody, welcome to Week 4 NWO matchup. Texas 1-1 coming in and hosting Tennessee 0-2. I'm I'm in the booth with Coach Brusso. Extra special treat for everybody in the NWO today. First game of the doubleheader. Coach Brusso, thanks and welcome. Thanks for being here.
Appreciate you guys having us on. We're still licking our wounds a little bit from last week, but we're good to see some good old fashioned Southern football. It'll be a good night.
Yeah, and in this one, what do we expect? Texas has great defense and offense, led by Juice Johnson at quarterback, and also Ricky Williams Jr. at halfback. Ricky Williams had a big night last week against Cincinnati as they took down a top 25 opponent in a user game. But Tennessee's going to start off with the ball here. Shotgun formation. 1 yard gain.
Man, Texas linebackers coming in physical at the point of attack. You see
Yeah.
55 there, just blow through the block, take out the running back, and it's only a 1 yard gain. Or loss of that must be the loss of 4. My bad.
That kind of tricked me too. I thought I saw a 1 yard loss, but it's 2nd and 14. Senior linebacker on the tackle there. Pim Pills is junior, left-handed quarterback, freshman.
Dangerous
Completes a
throw
7-yard
there.
pass.
Dangerous throw, but it does make it third and manageable. You get behind the chains, you start getting pressured. I think turnovers going to be a big part of this game. Person who limits their turnovers the most and can limit their opponent's explosive plays, I think will be in the best position to win this game at the end of the day.
Always want to show up on third down. As we're having our first third down here on the very first set of downs. Texas has 3 down linemen, looking like a 3-3-5. Balanced set, shotgun formation, 2 wides to each side. Halfback angle route, but throws it over the top to Marley for a 27-yard reception out to the sideline. Gets out of
Man,
bounds.
you saw Texas roll everybody up, trying to play press man on that. Coach Kling found the weak spot there, found that vulnerability, the slot receiver against the linebacker. That you'll take that every day of the week. It's a first down for the Vols.
Yeah, and that's got to build a lot of confidence for T. Clizzle Pimpizzle, a freshman quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. 2 back set here, 2 out to the right, 1 to the left. About a 5-yard drop, rolling left, buying time. Got some legs there. Jabari Small with the small catch and a small reception for 2-yard gain.
You know, having that mobile quarterback, the defense has got to be a little bit more hesitant, about rushing him, because if they don't get there right away, okay, the quarterback can make you pay. Granted, he got out of trouble there, led to see another down, got a couple of yards out of it. Not a bad play right there.
Yeah, so T. Clizzle Pimpizzle already getting a huge first down on third down, threading the needle in the middle of the field. So super confident. And then buying times with his legs here, possibly a dual threat quarterback. 1 tight end set, still shotgun, 1 back floats out to the right. T. Clizzle that time trying to throw it right in front of a defender. But who, your boy, who, able to deflect that with his left hand. What'd you see on that one, Coach?
That's just honestly, at the end of the day, you see some players just make some athletic plays you can't really explain, and that's what we saw. Who just make right there, man. Just reach out, long athletic body, knock it hand down, force a third and long.
Yeah, absolute stud play there. Couldn't say it better myself. We have trips right in tight bunch formation. Shotgun once again, about a 7-yard drop this time. Floats it over the middle to Callaway. And that's big catch Callaway for a 25-yard reception.
Man, this freshman quarterback's got, he's letting it all hang out right now, man. They haven't had the greatest start to the season coming forth. But hey, you put it up to one of your big body receivers, a little bit of put it in a spot where only he can catch it. Another big third down conversion for the Vols here. We're in the red zone already.
In the red zone, still able to get a first down before reaching the goal line. Texas making some adjustments here to pinch the defensive line. Delayed handoff. Jabari Small off the right side with a small 4-yard gain, but impactful first down.
Yeah, ran a little power play there. Pulled the backside guard. Okay, made the defense. I know those smaller being in the 3-3-5, those smaller guys don't like seeing them big hog mollies pulling around, going headhunting for their ass. So we'll see. It's second and medium. We'll see what Coach Klink's got here, and see what the Texas defense can stiffen up a little bit here.
Business decisions making already on this first possession with 4:20 left on the clock. Coach taking a while to get the play into the quarterback. Maybe it's the how loud it is here in DKR Stadium. Got 3 to the right, including a tight end. Handoff to Jabari Small around the corner. Finds the edge, almost nearly gets around the corner, and makes it a short, manageable 3rd and 1. That's 3 rushes on the day for 10 yards on the 9-yard line.
Well, George, if one guard doesn't work well enough, you just pull 2. They ran a little buck sweep action with that towards the right, brought the receiver back over, trying to test those linebackers' eyes and discipline. It makes it 3rd and manageable right here. It's a big third down in the game.
So edge control being a theme here for the first down run so far in this early game, in the first game of the 2 matchups. Once again, today is a doubleheader. Injury report: Tennessee number 82 Roberts. Hand off to Jabari Small. He gets clobbered by a huge defensive tackle, but not before picking up the first down. And we're going to go no huddle here, Coach.
Oh yeah, we're trying. Texas defensive linemen getting tired, man. We'll see if they can hold up here.
As they pinch to the middle here, hand off to Small once again, and He follows the blocks right up the middle for a 5-yard TD. And Tennessee's on the board. After their first possession, they march right down the field, mostly on the ground, but a couple big key catches. One of about 30 yards plus and one of about 25. One to Callaway, and I forget the other receiver's name, but they score first here. Impressive drive.
Point is good. Man, you guys in the NWO, everybody watching, if you guys know me and you guys know some of the more Big Ten affiliated programs, man, we love seeing the big fellas work. And you just saw it right there with the Vols. They move the Texas defensive line right there. That's going to be a big game, big plan going forward. The trenches are going to win this thing.
Absolutely, Coach. Love the insight on that one. As we're going to see here, Speedy receives the ball at the goal line, able to make several men miss, but gang tackled there at about the 19-yard line, and that's where Texas will take over for their first possession. Absolutely trench warfare going on. Texas has some great defensive linemen, but Tennessee able to really just show their strength there on that drive. Very impressive stuff.
We saw that in the game against Wisconsin, man. Tennessee brought it. Their trenches were working, and against the much more talented Texas team, and they're not scared coming here to Austin, taking on the 21th ranked Longhorns. We'll see how the defense responds, though.
Yes, the defense. We're gonna see how it matches up against this attack by Juice Johnson, one of the fastest players in the NWO at quarterback, and also Ricky Williams Jr., senior running back. Ricky with a handoff to the right, finding his edges, finding blocking, can't be tackled, and it takes a third tackler to bring him down, but not until he gets 16 yards and takes it all the way to the other sideline. What'd you think about that play, Coach?
And people, offensive linemen, especially guards, watching this football game back at home, you might want to start playing for these two programs. They're pulling you all over the place. They had a short edge there. Coach Revamp decided to pull both of them and let the big man eat. Man, Ricky Williams Jr.'s a freaky back. If you get him some open space, DBs or linebackers trying to tackle him, it's gonna be a long day for the defense.
Absolutely, absolutely. But the good thing about the defense right now is that they are up. Their team is up 7-0, but they are trying to protect that lead. That big gain takes it out to the 35, so we're nearing midfield. One more first down should do it. But this is a shotgun formation, one tight end to the right, motion from left to right by a wide receiver. And he's going to find Ricky. And Ricky's got some space here. He's got a blocker. Blocker can't keep up with Ricky's speed, but the user tackle there is able to stop Ricky on the first tackler of this play. Juice Johnson with his first pass completion to Ricky for 31 on that left sideline.
Man, you seeing them throw out all the stops, man. They're not pulling any punches already. Motion away, screen behind it, trying to test that defense. Okay, it was the defender made a key play, man, because that's a 7-point tackle right there. That saves it from being tied right up here late in the first quarter.
Absolutely, absolutely. About 2 minutes left, so more than half of the first quarter has gone by. Looks like Tennessee's defense starting to crowd the line a little bit. Offset eye here over to the right, and that's one of the fastest players for Texas, and he's able to wiggle and find his way around the corner, make the first man miss, and Speedy Jones with 23 yards on that outside stretch play off tackle.
And the Tennessee edge has got to get a little bit tougher, man. They're leaving it half a man short out there, and you see, the thunder and lightning punch for Texas is starting to get rolling. That offensive line's blocking well, and hey, we're almost at 1st and goal right here.
Yeah, Speedy Jones, such a huge compliment to this Texas backfield. But here's the star, and he's going to walk in untouched, lay the football down, and throw up the hook 'em horns. And the crowd here loves it. They go absolutely nuts for that one. And barring an extra point botch, we are going to get a tie ball game.
You see those receivers, man. You got to be selfless with a talented team like Texas, man. Everybody's a 5-star player. Receivers blocking on the perimeter. Ricky walks in for an easy 6.
And the point is good, so we do have a tie ball game here with just over 2 minutes to play. And Tennessee will be receiving the kickoff for their second possession. Coach, what do you look for Tennessee to do on this second possession?
See, the main thing especially is that, if both offenses have kind of done what they wanted. right? So now it's about the adjustments. What are these defenses going to do to counteract what they saw in that first drive? And for the offenses, what can you continue to keep doing, and what other things do you have, you know, underneath your sleeve that can really challenge, these defenses? You say like these trenches are moving people. It's a matter of who's gonna toughen up a little bit here. Still early in the first quarter, but we'll see what happens.
And this time the 3-3-5 is very wide, not pinched in the middle, but out wide. Pizzle drop back to pass, rolling, buying time, not able to get the ball out or throw it away, and he's going to be sacked for a 7 or 8 yard loss on that play. 2nd and 18 at the 17-yard line.
Texas athletes rolling, flying downhill, not really respecting the quarterback's throwing ability. You know, I he's a mobile guy, but he's also a freshman, so the freshman getting a little bit of jitters. Kind of felt good about himself in the first drive, but he's got to stay poised, and that's hard to do in a hostile environment here in Austin. But we'll see what they can do in 2nd and long.
Deeper passing routes not working on that play. Let's see if they go back to the ground game. And here it's an empty backfield. We got 4 wide receivers to the right, including a tight end. Pim Pizzle drops back 7 yards, launching it over the field into double coverage, but he's able to find Hyatt, and Hyatt with a 49-yard reception and gets tackled here at the 34.
Man, chicks dig the long ball, and that's what we're starting to see more and more as this season progresses. People taking deep shots. The safety rolled over. Hyatt had a really good release. Beat the corner. The safety couldn't roll over fast enough. It's a big play for the Vols.
Ballsy throw there by the freshman quarterback, but able to put it right where he needed to. And now we got a sniffer to the right, and then we got a halfback handoff, and Jabari Small's going to get 5 on first down, keeping the defense honest.
Yes, you have to. And at worst case scenario, you're 2nd and 5. You're not 2nd and 18 like the last drive. Everything's really still in the playbook for the OC. You can run the ball, you can do a play action here, you can drop back. Everything is in your toolbox for the 2nd and 5.
Nearly the whole first quarter gone, just under a minute to play. So we see a safety step up, Jamari Small, and he's hit by that safety. What a big hit.
Man, I got goosebumps seeing that. Coming downhill, they ran the trap again. The alley was wide open except for one man. Man, did he make that running back pay? Oof. Somebody want to get the trainer on the running back real quick.
Jamari Small been a bit of a workhorse today, and if he takes hits like that, it might mess with him a little bit. But 3rd and 1, everything's still in the playbook, and as we see Tennessee come out with 4 wides, balanced set, shotgun formation, Jabari Small on the right hip. Small's easily going to run forward for a 4-yard gain and get that first down.
Man, that aggressive safety came in a little bit too hot too early. Okay, missed the tackle. Good pick, quiet little 4th down. But once again, Coach Klink 4 for 4 on 3rd downs here in the first quarter.
And being good on money down is so important in this league, as this might be the last play in the first quarter unless there is a quick play or an incompletion. A lot of adjustments being made on both sides. Handoff to Small, goes right up the middle, tries to find this guard center gap, and gains 5 as the first quarter expires. What'd you think of that first quarter overall, Coach? Do you think Texas has made the adjustments that they needed to stop this Tennessee attack?
I don't necessarily think so. I think the defense is kind of confused because you're seeing basically the same looks, but you're getting different plays out of those looks. That they still haven't defended the trap. Okay, those defensive ends, man, are getting kicked out, and the tackle's getting up to the backer real fast. That's creating a big alley here. But damn, we're going empty here, George.
Yeah, empty set. Pimp is the left-handed quarterback, drops to his right this time, scrambles to the right, but he's tackled. He's tackled that time by number 24. Number 24 had 2 interceptions in last week's matchup against Cincinnati, leading Texas to a victory and their number 21 overall ranking in the nation this week, which will lead us to 3rd and 2 here at the 14-yard line.
It's another key play, man. We keep saying every play is a key play, but to keep Tennessee's momentum growing, they got to keep moving the ball here.
Callaway moves a little bit closer in motion. Looks like Nixon might go in motion. Nope, everybody drops back. and Small is tackled there for a 1 yard gain. And Texas is super pumped about that stop, thinking that they might be holding them to a field goal here.
Say, I believe Texas does get the ball to start the half, so Coach Klink might have to be a little bit more aggressive here. Don't necessarily want to chase points at this point, but you got the momentum rolling. Small's been running the ball very effectively here, and we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see if this Texas front can actually stop the run here for the first time all in the first half. We'll see
Texas
here.
bringing 4 down linemen on this one. The senior middle linebacker is in the backfield and tackling Jabari Small before he's able to reach the line to gain. What'd you see there, Coach?
Man, this is why those interior D linemen get those all those NIL deals, man, from Hummer. They hold up the blocks and everything. The linebacker comes flying in, not even touched, lays the smack down, and now you see the Longhorn offense on the field.
Yeah, that was a beautiful gap, and the linebacker played that perfectly. Great play. 2 wideouts to the right, 1 tight end to the left. That's Miller time. Key contributor to this offense. Fake to Ricky, and Juice Johnson is stopped in the backfield for a 9-yard loss. Coach, why wasn't he able to complete a pass there?
Man, the edge pressure. I think the strong safety. I think the extra alley defender came on the blitz. The quarterback took a little bit too long in his drop back. The offensive line only blocked inside out, which is what they're supposed to do. There's an extra guy there that they didn't get accounted for pre-snap. And it came back to bite him.
Yeah, he did not bother running after Ricky at all. He just went straight for the quarterback. But Juice Johnson barking out commands here, standing in his own end zone, releases it early that time, tries to hit Williams on the cross route, and he gets tattooed.
And Texas gets on the sideline next. Their offensive line got to get working here. The defensive ends are doing the contain rush. Okay, they're having edge pressure come underneath it. These tackles are all over the place mentally, George.
And this leads us to a very dangerous 3rd and 19 on the 4-yard line. Coach, going back and buying extra time, what does that do for the offense to have to buy extra time here? What does that do for the defense's mentality?
Pin your ears back and have some fun here. It's 3rd and 19. Let's go get them.
Juice Johnson, and that was almost a wild pitch on the snap, shotgun pitch. And Juice Johnson showing incredible legs and strength and agility, and he's able to rush himself to a 1st down for the Longhorns. And this home crowd loves that.
Players making plays, man. The quarterback knew his team needed a conversion. Nobody was open downfield, so he says, "You know what, Coach, I got it. I'm gonna shimmy shake 2 guys out of their cleats, and I'm gonna go get you 25 in a 1st down."
Yeah, Juice Johnson is no longer a freshman, showing that this is his 2nd season facing NWO competition. 4 down linemen from Tennessee, 3 wide receivers, including Ricky Williams. No, I'm sorry, that is not Ricky. Ricky's in the backfield. Juice still audibling, sending hot routes out. Ricky Williams, old reliable for the 3-yard gain, settles everything down for just a second. Not an explosive play, but a positive play. And we haven't had many of those from Texas on this possession so far.
We go on tempo here. Uh-oh. Here we go.
Looks like the same formation, not making any adjustments this time. Wait, that might be an audible. And it looks like the same play, but this time a little bit more towards the middle. And Ricky able to find more soft defense there in the middle.
Center and right guard moved that defensive tackle out a little bit. Ricky saw the hole, cut it up vertical, and get a 1st down.
Trench warfare coming into place once again. And that time leading to a 1st down nearing midfield. It didn't seem like very long ago that we were back at the 4-yard line facing a 3rd and 19, and now we are cooking with a little bit of grease getting warmed up here. Fullback formation in here. We're going to go to the left side, and the fullback sells, Coach. Number 38 didn't get his block.
As a former collegiate fullback myself, this is one way people give fullbacks a lot of crap. They think they're the dinosaurs of football. Son, that does not help out our case right here.
I was in practice all week for the Texas Longhorns, and I saw the fullback, practicing that play, and the coach was coaching him up on how to do it and telling the young man how much they needed that play and how he was going to call his number, and he was expecting him, and if he did it right, he'd get a cookie later. And Coach, you just hate to see it. The fullback ran out like he was running a streak route down the middle for about 20 yards deep, not touching anybody.
Get a little too overamped, man. He's probably banging his head against other people's helmets when he doesn't have his own helmet on. blood pouring down his face, but you gotta do your assignment, son.
Tight formation here. And the blitz is just getting to him so fast. Brought extra defenders on that one, and there was still men covering the wide receivers' routes out there on that one. 3rd and 11 here, coach.
Man, once again, like I said, this Texas offensive O line coach better better hope that he doesn't get too many things happening wrong for his squad by before halftime because they need to make a lot of adjustments. This Tennessee athleticism and twisting and stunting is really starting to mess up this Longhorn offensive line. We'll see what happens here on a big third down.
Third down is the money down in any league that you play on, especially in the NWO where you have 11 user games. Tight ball game right here, 7-7. Just over 3 minutes, just under 4 minutes. We're going to see Miller time right there at the tight end position. Juice Johnson talking to Shipley, buying time with his legs, rolling wide to the right, and he fumbled it. And Bailey picks up the ball. It looked like he had stepped out of bounds, but the refs didn't call it, and he takes it all the way down to the 12-yard line.
Man,
What just happened, Coach?
man, we all talk about it. These mobile quarterbacks, they want to be all fancy and run around, but sometimes as a defensive player, you just got to drop your shoulder into their chest and the ball will come flying out. Man, big play here for the Tennessee offense right now. Let's see what they can do.
Got Jamari Small in the backfield. Pim Pizzle, left-handed quarterback, finds his receiver to the left. That's Hyatt, but Hyatt gets popped before he's able to bring down that grab.
A little bit of an inaccurate throw there by the freshman quarterback. Threw it on his inside shoulder. Should have probably put it on his outside shoulder. And the Texas DBs, who are coached so well by Coach Revamp, they're going to get their hands in there and knock the ball down. So, a little bit of nerves, a little bit of overexcitement by the freshman quarterback. But remember, it's 2nd and 10 here. You have the football. Take care of it.
Contrastingly, Texas's defense feels very confident because they were able to get a turnover on downs on the previous possession for the Volunteers. But Pim Pizzle surveying the field, buying time, going out to the right, but there's a QB spy there the whole time, and he has to force the pass, and it never reaches its intended target.
Get a left-handed quarterback rolling to his right. His accuracy drops down quite a bit. Okay, if that was a right-handed quarterback, we might have a different story. We might be having a Tennessee lead at this point, but huge third down here for both teams.
Yeah, he rolled back to the field side there instead of going to his left, which would have been the boundary side. But here you got Nixon right there on the tight end. You got Jabari Small, ball snapped. Pim Pizzle looking for every target, but everybody's just locked up, and he has to throw it out of bounds. What do you think about that play, Coach?
Nobody's open. The freshman quarterback, instead of trying to force it and play hero ball, threw the ball away, lived to see another down. Okay, and we're going to get some points on the board, but what a huge stop for this Texas defense, George. Unbelievable job.
Yeah, second one in a row, Coach. This one not a turnover on downs because they've already kind of taught the lesson to Tennessee that it might be better to go for the 3 points on a gimme chip shot there. But Tennessee takes the lead. That's the headline. Don't bury the lead. Tennessee is in the lead here in DKR against number 21 ranked Texas, who just got off of knocking off Cincinnati Bearcats, a top 10 team in their own right. This is Speedy Jones, able to make one man miss, but the second tackler was right there. And he's going to come down to about maybe the 15-yard line. And that's where Texas is going to have about 3 minutes of field to play with here. And how's that Tennessee defense feeling at this time, Coach?
Yeah, they're feeling confident, man. They're going to make this Texas team earn it. But I will say one thing. The coverage unit of the special teams on kickoff for the Volunteers has been absolutely stellar. Speedy is such a huge threat. Getting him to go laterally and staying in that form tackling relationship really is key here. It's forced Texas to have a long field to score.
As we see Shipley in the slot there, the fullback is back on the field. I didn't expect to see him back so early. And that's Speedy in the backfield. And the Longhorns are going to have to take a timeout, Coach. That's going to leave them with just one on this possession.
Yeah. So I guess the fullback snuck out one too many plays, man. Coach saw it from the sidelines like, man, you just messed up the last play. Get your butt off the field.
Yeah. And Texas will get the ball back at the beginning of the half. So if they're able to manufacture points here, they could be scoring into the half and out of the half potentially. But they first have to assert themselves against Tennessee's defense. And it's a long ball to Shipley, and Shipley's going to catch it in stride. Doesn't quite have the speed to get away, and he does. The ankle tackle is going to happen in the end zone, but he crossed the plane before falling, and that is an explosive play, Coach.
That's what we talked about in the pregame. If we could limit explosive plays, especially from Tennessee against this Texas offense, we would have a very close game here. Now the Texas team's getting confident. They're starting to get rolling. Can Tennessee respond before the half? Because they do not get the ball at the half, so it's a key possession here, especially for Tennessee.
This crowd has come back to life. They had to watch Shipley do that to the Bearcats last week on their monitor, but they got to see it here live and in person,
Man,
and they exploded.
this place is rocking. I might have to go get myself a pair of cowboy boots at halftime. We'll have to see.
Let me find out, Coach. Let me find out. If you're going there, get me something on the way back. I need a new belt buckle.
All right.
All right, so we are going to have the 25-yard line be the starting place for Tennessee. We got two wide to the right, shotgun formation. Jabari Small goes out for a pass this time, and there is no help on that right tackle position. The left end able to get in on there.
Now you're starting to see the Texas defensive line starting to get after it a little bit. And say both offensive lines have got to do some cleaning up at halftime. But you're starting to see the Texas team starting to get a little bit more confident, and we've got a big second down here.
Yeah, just under 3 minutes to play. Shotgun formation. We got Callaway in motion, going from right to left. Pimpizzle dropping to his right, still with his shoulders square, but he gets leveled by the middle linebacker who was spying him the whole time. He leads to a huge loss.
Oof. That those are the hits you don't want a freshman quarterback taking. He saw the home run ball down the field on the wheel, but man, just couldn't get it off in time. And it's a critical third down.
Different look here from the Longhorns defense. Pimpizzle dropping back and just airmails it. Coach, was he throwing it away on that one?
I think that's the unofficial throwaway right there. Put it in a receiver zone so we don't get called for grounding. But yeah, that's a throwaway all day.
And just like that, Tennessee will line up to punt, taking almost no time off of the field, putting their defense right back out there. And number 37 gets a clean punt off, crosses midfield where Speedy Jones receives it, able to find some space over to the right, showing off that speed and why he was named that. Showing his toughness right there. Instead of getting out of bounds, goes straight up field and falls forward for a few more. They'll pick up their possession at the 39-yard line with 2:11 to play, Coach.
Yeah, not much time, like you said, came off that clock. So Texas, especially with the ball in the second half, can really take their time. Everything's available for their playbook. You can run this thing all the way down and get out of half the time.
Yeah, you could go back to Ricky right here, and he's going to take the counter move, and he's able to break one tackle. But there's two defenders showing some great speed out there, Coach.
See, hey, talking about the perimeter blocking earlier with Ricky scoring, not so much on that play. The receiver kind of took that play off. The corner got off the block, helped with that tackle. The safety came down. Still a 4-yard gain, but it could have been a lot more if that receiver would have did his job.
Yeah, when Texas dials up that play, they're looking for more than 4 yards, aren't they?
They're looking for 40.
Yeah. All right. Over here on the left hash mark, we got Shipley and Miller time right there on the left side. Handed off to the left side, and there's just too many defenders there, Coach. 3rd and 9.
Yeah, you go the Bulls on parade. You pull everybody for the counter, but the speed of the Vols defense got there before the lineman did. Forced it to bounce, and 3rd and 9 here. This would be a great stop for the Tennessee defense, but can the Longhorns get a critical first down to keep the drive going?
Third and 9. Two tight ends set here. One wide out on each side. Under center for Juice Johnson. Drops back 5 and then about 5 more. Rolling right, has tons of time to pass. And he's going to find Ricky all alone in the back of the end zone. Delivers a dime. And just like that, Texas has scored 14 unanswered with 1 minute left. Well, barring the botch extra point.
Man, what a throw. The offensive line made an adjustment. You could tell this series. They protected him long enough. Ricky ran down the field with his big 240-pound butt down there on the wheel route. Just caught it right in the breadbasket. And it's 21-10 in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, I don't know what Ricky's eating down there, but he's looking a little thick in the ass myself if I when I look at him.
Man, he getting the ribs, the brisket. He getting everything.
But you got to enjoy the local cuisine wherever you are, folks. Shout out to everybody in chat. We got Coach in the booth, JT on the ones and twos, back in the truck. Appreciate everybody. We'll see what Texas is able to do defensively here against Tennessee. Tennessee was able to score that first touchdown without problem. This is a handoff to Jabari Small. Jabari Small cuts it back inside. Maybe too many cuts right there. It looked like he had an angle there on the outside.
And this isn't Dancing with the Stars, son. You need to get vertical. Can't be dancing too much in the backfield. Let's go.
Absolutely. As the time, also becomes a factor. Tennessee with 2 timeouts, taking one there because if it's not a first down play, the clock will run. Got a bunch formation to the right, but also one extra receiver out there. Empty set. Pim Pizzle going over the top, and he's got a man. And that's Hyatt. Hyatt, the fastest man in the NWO, able to burn the defense right there. Coach, it looked like they had a safety over the top, but nobody's really over the top of Hyatt anytime, are they?
No, you need to be on the same hash and already bailing towards them on the snap. Say they're playing press man again. They came back to bite him.
Same formation right here. No audibles this time. Pim Pizzle dropping back about 10 yards back deep. Buying time by going to his left. Sees that middle linebacker again, coach. Number 55 has really been shadowing Pim Pizzle all day. Tell me about that relationship, coach. What's that looking like today?
Man, that middle linebacker's hitting him every play and picking him up, saying, "Once again, big fella, I got you. Next play, you watch it." Just keeps getting in his head, trying to make him get a little bit uncertain about his abilities as a player. Especially being a freshman, those nerves can kind of kick in. You can start getting frustrated that you're not getting what you want out of a play, not getting what you want out of your abilities here. But you got to stay poised. You got to be composed here. You got a chance to score before half. You got to get it done.
Yeah, and he smartly threw that one away because it was a first down. Not one of those need downs right there. But Pim Pizzle dropping back again, and I'm just amazed by the blitz pickup right there. It looked like Pim Pizzle it looked like they had him dead to rights there as he was trying to escape the pocket. But somebody came in with a chip block there at the end, coach.
Hey, you know what? You got to play for your brother next to you, right? You got to sacrifice, help out for the team, man. That's what they did right there. Selfless play. Didn't work out necessarily, but hey, you get to keep it as a third and manageable instead of about third and 15, 16 here.
Yeah, and time not really the issue here. What the issue now is about those 10 yards. And Tennessee desperately needing to get 10 yards to extend this possession. Pim Pizzle with a ton of time. And that time he's going to throw it into 2 defenders. Safety over there to make a play, coach.
Man, safety was just sitting there just lurking like it's 2 a.m. and you're watching your favorite streamer on Twitch. Man, just waiting for that opportunity. But man, that's why he's playing DB and not receiver.
Yeah, and that's going to bring us to 4th down and a lineup from Tennessee for their second field goal of the afternoon. Montgomery splits the middle, and he is true, and that brings us within 8. A single possession game here, coach. Is this what we expected on this matchup?
The odds makers did kind of saw it being a little bit more than this. Then you go to Miller Time Sportsbook and maybe get your second half bets in here. But Tennessee's hanging in there, but they can't be settling for field goals in crunch time.
And the special teams play once again. You called it earlier, coach. What are they doing that's making them so successful?
They're honestly just hustling down to the ball more and defeating those attempted blocks by Texas. You just see that this team is aggressive on that on their kickoff units. You know, you'll love to see it. They're not flying by the runner. They're not, getting shook out of their shoes. They're doing a very good job of breaking down, staying on the near side hip of the returner. Making him dance a little bit, get himself tired, and then they just tackle him when he's done. But it's
Yes, Speedy had that one punt return that was pretty successful, but other than that, the kickoffs have been wrapped up here. Shotgun formation, got a tight end there, fakes the handoff to the wide receiver, but tries to find Ricky over the field, over the middle of the field, but that's just off. That's not precision passing, coach.
No, I think the quarterback saw the safety right over the top of Ricky, tried to make that throw, and we're fortunate. Texas is very fortunate that that Tennessee receiver had or DB had his eyes on Ricky instead of the ball, because we may have an interception there. But still second down. Both teams still have two timeouts here, so it's not necessarily over in this half.
And coach, is this a position where if you have a lot of confidence in your offense, if you're Texas, you're trying to score, but if you're playing more conservatively, you just maybe run out the clock, judging by the fact that you did have a turnover by your quarterback, uh, one that brought it down to the 10-yard line off fumble. Juice Johnson rolling to his right, finding plenty of space, completes it to Shipley, and he's in field goal range with about 15 seconds left. That's going to stop the clock temporarily as that's a first down as they respot the ball, and Texas is going to go no huddle here.
Oh yeah, I mean this isn't necessarily just field goal territory. Coach Revamp's thinking touchdown here, especially since he gets the ball. Two timeouts. There's plenty of time left on the clock.
Trips bunch right with an extra one out there. And he's going to go over the top to Shipley again, but that should have been picked off. That time with the user SWAT. Looked like the timing was correct. How come he didn't come down with that, coach?
Man, I don't know what's going on here. The humidity down here in Austin Day or something, but these guys' gloves are they're just slick. And if you saw at the end of that play, George Shipley had a chance as well to catch it off the SWAT, but he didn't come down with it either. So we got 10 seconds here. Got about 3 plays here if you hurry, including your timeouts. This is gonna be a critical part for Coach T. Klink. Can he hold against this Texas offense?
Right formation here. And the defensive pass rush just right on top of Juice. I don't know how he got rid of that. And that's going to be less than the yard to gain. So Texas is going to be forced to take a timeout here. And do you take the points here, coach, with 3 seconds, or do you get aggressive and go for one more? Uh,
You take the points here, especially since you get the ball at half anyways. You can make this a 3 possession lead if you come out of the half and score. But yeah, you got to take the points here.
and that's just what it looks like they'll do. Texas lined up, and that kick is right through the uprights, and that's gonna expire our first half clock. Coach, we knew that Ricky Williams was going to be a player here. We knew that Juice Johnson, but I want to ask you a question. With the quarterback play that we've seen so far, them putting it into tight windows and unafraid, totally confident to go deep down the field, even if there's extra defenders down there, do you think there might be more turnovers in the second half than there was in the first half?
I absolutely think that's going to be the case. Now, if you see if now the one thing that I like about Tennessee is they're taking advantage of the Texas DBs playing press, right? Playing really next to the line of scrimmage, trying to stop them right off the get-go. Okay, but the thing is that these Texas DBs start adjusting, getting their press down correctly. It'd be very interesting to see how Coach T. Klink and the Vols make some adjustments. I think from Texas, you kind of had a shaky start. Your offensive line was a little bit, you know, had their head spinning a little bit. If you get this cleaned up at halftime, I think, especially since Texas gets the ball, I think this is the most important drive of the game, in my opinion, right here. If Coach Klink can get a stop, then they can get back into running their normal game plan. But if you go down 31-13, then you're trying to play catch up. If you feel what I'm saying.
I totally agree with you, coach. This is a very, very important possession here for the whole ball game. And we just saw a very, very important possession because it looked like Tennessee had taken the 3 points. Where on the first time that they had a fourth down, they had a turnover on downs, but they took the 3 points there, and that was a smart one. But Texas with that huge explosive play over the middle, where he was able to find Shipley after rolling right and buying the time that he needed. Juice Johnson able to get his team in field goal range, and that took it from a one score difference to now a two-score difference. Them beat up 11. That does a lot in terms of now if they're able to score a touchdown, they really stretch it like you said to 31. So
Yeah, I
that
would look for here going forward, George. I would look for Ricky Williams to get heavily involved in the Texas offense. We saw him with the big play on the wheel route for the touchdown. You saw him a couple times, but I think, you know, I think they hand the ball to Ricky and let him do his thing and dare the Tennessee defense to stop him. And then maybe after you establish him a little bit, then go play action again, hit Shipley when the defense is kind of lulling back and kind of take advantage of this Tennessee defense. But we're back here for the second half.
Yes, and Texas will receive the ball. It'll be interesting to see if Texas goes with any of those halfback screens. Speedy Jones here receives the ball about 4 yards deep, makes a move to the outside, then the inside, then the back to the outside, showing off that speed, picks up a big block right there, able to make a man miss, and he might be off to the races. Although Holiday showing his speed, Speedy Jones breaking a tackle with the step back cheese, but the step back cheese slowed him enough for the cavalry to catch up to him. Coach, talk about that play.
Discipline that the Tennessee special teams unit has had in the first half. You saw the outside containment go inside of the outside block, leaving that whole edge open, and you just cannot do that with Speedy Jones toking the rock. So we just got to be better than that, man. If I'm the special teams coach in that situation.
Amen. Two tight ends to the right, Juice Johnson under center, Ricky single back, Juice Johnson rolling to the right, and he could run it. He could run it right here. If he makes one man miss, he's in, and that is exactly what happens. Juice Johnson, sophomore quarterback, fastest quarterback in the NWO, throws the ball down, and that is going to take them to that 30-point mark. Coach, your reaction.
Man, the athletes are just playing. The football players are being football players right now. Juice just saw it wide open. He could have dunked it to the tight end. He could have threw it to the receiver. He could have grabbed a glass of Gatorade and still probably scored on that play. It was just wide open. No contained by the Tennessee defense.
Yeah, and that's a little bit of a defensive scheme matchup difference that we're seeing. But Hyatt is going to catch this ball. He steps on the back end zone, won't be returned. But that's a little bit of the scheme difference here, right? Texas, we've seen spy with their middle linebacker, T. Clizzle Pimpizzle, and he's been following him around wherever he goes. But for Tennessee, we don't see a QB spy staying on to Juice Johnson. Although maybe it is called, and he's just not able to keep up with him and his foot speed. Either way, tight end to the right, shotgun formation, Callaway in motion, handoff to Small. Small finds the right edge, but the lineman kind of falls down and not able to secure the edge. Two defenders tackle him up after a 4-yard gain.
You hate to see the big fellas fall down, man. It's you can see them in the not top 10 on Sports Center, but if you're trying to move the ball right now, you just hate to see it from the sidelines.
Yeah, when you see your big man leading the way, but then goes from looking very athletic to unathletic so fast. Kind of a sad day. But 2nd and 6, not a negative play here. Pimpizzle, Callaway in motion once again from right to left this time. Now he's in the backfield like a halfback. That looked like a read option, but quarterback kept it, tackled in the backfield for a loss.
Try to get that triple option going. The Texas defense being very assignment oriented football right there. They probably, we went to practice, George. We saw the fact they were working a little bit of the option defense. Every man has a man in that system, in that scheme, and it paid off right there for a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, one of the few quarterback runs that we've seen right there where it's not a quarterback scramble to run, stopped right there. But 3rd and 9, 5 minutes to play here. Barking out some changes to the play here. Pimpizzle drops back for 5, wants to release it, but doesn't find anybody immediately. Man-to-man coverage is really tight. Now forces it. 3 defenders in the area. lives to fight another down. What'd you think on that play, Coach?
That's a dangerous throw across the middle of the field, you know. Had multiple defenders, multiple receivers in the same area though. But the freshman quarterback start to see a little bit of nerves come in here, especially with the adversity that the Vols are gonna have to face here if they want to make a comeback.
Tennessee punter with his second punt on the day. This one's short this time. And Speedy Jones is going to catch it on the run. And he makes a few man miss in the middle incredibly before he reaches the outside and crosses the 40-yard line. Texas with excellent field position to start off their second possession of the second half.
You can't outkick your coverage. You know, if you put that ball, there's less trajectory on that punt,
Yeah.
you know, your coverage guys are going to be farther behind, and you saw it there. Speedy got him into plus territory, and the Longhorns are back at it again, George.
Yeah, this time with Miller time down on the same side as the fullback. Offset power I here. Two wide receivers, one on each side. And we're changing the whole play here, Coach. Under center, Johnson hands off to Williams. Williams able to follow the fullback that time, showing some power, Coach. Who runs like that?
Hey, very few people in college football can run like Ricky can. But hey, the fullback didn't do his job the first time he got his number called. This time he hits the outside defender, knocks the edge defender back, creates a lane and a cutback for Ricky,
Yes.
and it's another first down for the Longhorns.
That's right, Coach. Tell him about it. With that block right there, he was able to have his choice whether he wanted to go outside or inside. And that time he trusted his interior lineman and great strength there to end. Ricky finds the outside this time, tries to cut it upfield, didn't want to continue down the edge. Might have been able to get a stiff arm there around the corner, Coach, but he's still lying on the field. He's had a lot of touches today, but gets 2 yards on that one.
Number 9 for Tennessee just saved a touchdown, everybody. If you saw that, the guard pulled, trying to take him. Number 9 for Tennessee, their linebacker, came around the offensive lineman's block, got in the backfield, and in my mind, that is a touchdown saving play because Ricky had nobody to worry about behind him.
Offset eye to the left this time. That's Speedy Jones. And once that tackler dives like that, he's got and Speedy with the leaping Mike Vick to end the play, getting us down to first and goal at the 5.
Man, Texas sees something they really like. I think the perimeter is getting a little soft for Tennessee now. Okay, and they're just using their athletic backs to their advantage, trying to get to the edge.
And this time, it's a fullback cookie, and he didn't quite make it in. But what a huge run. Love to see it, Coach. Talk about it.
Oh, my heart feels so happy here. I only wish he would have scored, but a good job dropping the shoulder from the big fella. And we're back at it right here.
What a great change of pace. Everybody was thinking Speedy on that one, and the fullback getting it done. If you can't get it done with the fullback on the first try again, and he'll get it done for you. As Texas is off to a huge lead this time, 24-point lead at this moment, and barring the extra point botch, you're going to take a 25-point lead here, Coach.
Man, if I had a buzzer, I'd be ringing it right now for that fullback. Man, you don't see too often the fullbacks get a touchdown. The big fella's learned. He's developed this game. He's understood his assignments. And then look what happens when you do your job. You get rewarded with a touchdown.
Huge possession there, Coach. Equally as huge. Talk about what Texas defense did on the. Wait a minute. No, Hyatt's not going to be able to return that. Coach, talk about what Texas did on defense last time to get their offense the ball back so quick and early. What's Tennessee going to do to overcome that?
You know, Texas started really doing some more outside rushing for blitzing and rush lanes compared to interior because against the mobile quarterback, an interior rush is going to lead them to scramble, which is what you're concerned about. You know, if you rush from outside in against a mobile quarterback, it keeps him kind of contained and gets him off his game. So we'll see what the Tennessee offense can do right here.
Finn Pizzle drop backs to pass. Jabari Small, the halfback screen, able to pick up 6 yards on that play.
That's a good play call. You know, trying to get this Texas defense a little bit, you know, off their rhythm a little bit. But the speed of this Longhorn defense is really starting to show up here in this third quarter.
Yeah, a lot of defenders out there, despite all of those offensive linemen being out there, they all made some plays to just olay them and just make the tackle. Tight end set here, 2 to the left. Pim Pizzo drops back about 7 yards, now 9. Throws it over to across the other the field side. And on the sideline, Jabari Small looking like a wide receiver there, coach. Huge first down reception there, about a 20-yard gain.
Man, these wheel routes are really, Rick. You saw Ricky with the touchdown one earlier. Small there on the numbers. Beautiful touch by both these quarterbacks on those wheel routes today.
Play will begin on the right hash here. There's something Pim Pizzle is trying to change out there. 1st and 10 right here at the 40. And he's going to be dropped for a 2-yard loss. That's big number 99. Talk about those defensive tackles and how much they mean to this game.
Oh man, that is an amazing play by that defensive tackle there. He didn't get blocked, and what you're taught to, as a defensive tackle when you don't get blocked is you stop what you're doing. You don't rush upfield because they're probably running either they're gonna have somebody run to you and knock, clean your clock, or they're gonna run right where you
Run
just
right past you.
Exactly. Great job there.
Great job there because he had a little bit of space if he would have made it past him. Pim Pizzle dropping back to pass. Looks like man coverage. Forces the pass there, and that's going to be intercepted. And that's number 24, I think. Is that number 24, Coach? Because if it is, that's 3 picks in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I believe it was. You say can't. Ooh, and Coach Klink is hot at the officials right now. He wants, he thought his receiver should have had a chance to come back to the ball. They didn't necessarily get that happening right there. Coach Klink is heated on the sidelines right now, George.
But he's got to focus up. He's got to talk to his defensive coordinator because just like that, you are defending this field from Texas, who's looking to extend this lead. And that is just looking like a smart route right there, gaining 10 yards on the out route. That's Gucci LaFleur.
Just taking what the defense gives you, right? Just taking, say they're playing a little bit off coverage there. The underneath stuff should be open if it's an accurate throw, and another first down for the Longhorns.
Yeah, so much confidence right now out of the Longhorns. Juice Johnson able to score on that last touchdown, and or actually the touchdown before the last touchdown. The last one was a fullback. Excuse me. But playing with this kind of lead here, we're going to really get into the Texas bag in terms of seeing what they could do offensively. Oh, and that is a near disaster. Tennessee's defense got in that time, Coach.
Yeah, went back to the cookie jar one too many times with that little cross screen there. But hey, great job by the Tennessee guys. You're supposed to stop what you're doing and go chase the screen. But those defensive linemen said, you know what? We're gonna just go get this quarterback, try to make him throw it over our heads, and he just couldn't do it. That's a great job by the Tennessee defense.
Yeah, bringing it to 2nd and 10. And that was almost like a fumble or interception type of play. That was just really, really wild. Bunch formation right, shotgun formation this time for Juice Johnson. And Tennessee's going to come to the line of scrimmage so fast and nearly the same result, Coach.
You're going back to the tape that you saw earlier in the first half. Tennessee's rushing is starting to confuse that Texas offensive line again. The tackles really don't know who to block. Should they block the interior guy Fanning? Should they take on the edge pressure coming at them? Great call there by the defensive coordinator.
Absolutely. Needing one more right here. Bunch formation to the left. Ricky goes out for a pass, and he's going to throw it. And that might be Lonnie Williams right there. Oh, no, that's Dean. Dean with a big first down catch. What a heartbreaker for Tennessee. Tennessee thought they had great plays on back-to-back first and second down, but third down's the money down.
Yeah, they say that was a great throw by the Texas offense. Tennessee came with another pressure, but they did a little bit more of a looping stunt that takes a little bit more time. About a half second too late for that throw.
Yeah, more of an intermediate throw on that one. Just for about 10 yards, only needing the yards to gain and not getting greedy for a long one. Juice Johnson, hot routing everything on this play, and he's going to hand it to Ricky. And Ricky, for the first time, gets hit backwards. I've never seen Ricky get tackled like that. Well, not in this game, at least. Not today.
Man, but it took three vault defenders to knock him backwards, though, George. We got to keep that. We can go back and look at the film later. But, yeah, Ricky's, he's had his way with his Tennessee defense for the most part. But, Tennessee, at least in the front seven, is starting to really lock it in, trying to be a little bit more aggressive. You love to see it. The question is,
Yeah,
can the secondary,
yeah,
not give up the easy throws and tackle in space because they're not out of it by any means, but they need to stop here pretty soon.
yeah. The front four have really created some havoc last couple of plays here. Ricky Williams on the counter run this time, able to make a man miss.
Oh.
Incredible ability, agility, and now speed. Talk about a coach. What happened?
Ran the counter play. The guard came through, kicked out beautifully. Ricky read off that block. Shout out to number 89, the tight end, though. Pancaking the last guy who had a chance to make the play for Tennessee. Pancaked him, and Ricky was just high stepping, saying sweet nothing to the cheerleaders in the end zone. It's a beautiful time here in Austin.
Yeah, this Texas team started off the season unranked. Their very first matchup was against SMU, the two-time defending champion of the NWO, and they were in a neck-to-neck battle all the way into the deep into the fourth quarter in that one. And then last week, uh, they took Cincinnati out in Nippert Stadium, and now they have a commanding lead of 32 points here against Tennessee, and we're still in the third quarter, Coach.
Yeah, this is where you gotta, if you're Coach Klink, you gotta pull your quarterback aside and be like, "Listen, son, let's just take it one play at a time. We can't. There's no 32-point play in our playbook, right? So let's just try to keep chipping away. We'll keep making adjustments on defense, but we gotta move the ball here."
Shotgun formation, drops back to pass, doesn't have enough time to pass. Looking for those super long routes, looking for it all in one play, Coach. And that's going to bring us to 2nd and 19 as Texas is able to bring down the quarterback.
If I was Coach Klink, I would be livid at the offensive line right now. If you look at that play, there are 3 or 4 offensive linemen just standing around, just feeling sorry for themselves because they're down 32 points. Like, granted, you want to take a deep shot there, but your offensive line isn't helping. They're not helping out your quarterback right now.
And off that time to the Small able to make one man miss, cuts it back inside, but that senior middle linebacker, number 55, sure tackler right there, able to bring him down.
Yeah.
It's going to bring us to 3rd and 12.
So now here's where the maturity of a young quarterback has to come into play, right? It's 3rd and 12. You can't hit the home run right here unless it's wide open. Okay, try to pick up the first down, but don't make a mistake here. Just try not to make a mistake.
Shotgun formation, drops back, and able to hit Hyatt on a crossing route for about 17 to 20 yards. And that's going to reset the down and distance right there with about 30 seconds left to play in the third.
Hell of a dig route by Wyatt. Quarterback put it right on him. Great job being poised right there on 3rd down.
And we're going to go right back to it. No huddle look here. Pimp Pizzle, though, getting tackled right there. What happened to the edge protection there? What did Texas do to bring that?
Man, you watch number 53 right there, the left tackle for Tennessee. That man didn't even get out of his stance by the time the defender was already past him. Man, that's one of those that as a player you're gonna sink down in your chair come Monday morning when you guys watch film. My
Yeah.
goodness, that was not what you wanted to see.
Yeah, the defender made a great play right there, showing that speed and athleticism explosion right through the quarterback's chest. Pimpizzle dropping back to pass, and that's going to be picked off. Number 23 has it. That's why he's got to start underneath his feet, and he's going to break it down to about the 47-yard line. Coach, you love to see that if you're a defensive coordinator.
Oh, you absolutely love to see it. Tips. Try to make these young quarterbacks put it in a window. The size of about a silver dollar from 40 yards away. It's perfect if you're defense. If you're an offensive guy, it's hard with a young quarterback, especially being down a little bit. He's trying to play hero ball, even though you try to calm him down the whole game. It's just part of the learning curve.
And off this time to Ricky. Ricky's going to have met in the backfield and then swallowed up by 2 more defenders. And Ricky only is unbelievable able to get 1 yard out of that one. I thought that was going to be a loss.
Yeah, that's even on 1 yard gains. You see how dominant Ricky Williams Jr. can be. So powerful, so fast, so physical. It only turned into a 1 yard gain, but that is all after contact. You probably gained 2 to 3 yards after contact right there.
Tennessee once again showing penetration in the Longhorns backfield, and don't want to leave the quarterback exposed, and also don't want to get your star running back hurt. So interesting to see what Texas will do here. They fake the handoff. They're going to go over the top again. One time to Shipley, and Shipley able to make the user grab, climbing the ladder as a defender falls down on the play, and Texas is able to score a 50 burger here with 6 minutes and 23 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. Coach, what'd you see?
Man, that Jordan Shipley. Everybody talks about Ricky. Everybody talks about Juice. Jordan Shipley has made his name known the last couple weeks. He's really stepped onto the big stage. He's had what 2 or 3 touchdowns today. Man, the man just gets open. That's all you can say. The man gets open. He catches the ball at the high point. And man, he was shaking hands, celebrating with Bevo down in there in the end zone.
Out to the Texas Longhorns mascot. And another kick that sails out of the back of the end zone. It's quite the tool there on special teams when you don't let a player with Jalen Hyatt's speed have any impact on special teams. What a weapon there on special teams.
Yep. If you can take away a team's weapon like that, then it makes them go to to a different option and another more time they have to spend on other things. And that's we'll see what Tennessee can do here. At least try to build some momentum.
Handoff this time up the middle to Small, and Small able to make two broken tackles after getting a first down, falling forward for a couple extra. Impressive run right there by Jabari Small.
Jabari Small's doing this by himself right now. I don't think if like I said, Coach Klink has probably got to be the most frustrated with his offensive line right now in the second half. They are not helping out anybody, the quarterback, Small, anybody today in the second half. So they got to fix some stuff up for next week.
Small in the backfield, staying back on pass protection this time. Pimp Pizzle able to run through the defensive line there, but gets tattooed by the secondary or linebacker who picked him up after he picked up a first down.
And that's when you pull your young quarterback aside, George, and be like, son,
Mhm.
you gotta slide in those situations because we need you for the long haul.
Yeah, they've made the change here from Harrison Bailey, the upperclassman, to the freshman, Pimp Pizzle. And if he's going to last this season and if he's going to be working, he's got to be healthy. Those kind of hits don't help him. That time a handoff to Small right up the middle, but not going anywhere as Texas defense was able to get past the lineman and make that tackle. And on this play, Tennessee is going to come out with a empty set here, empty backfield. Pimp Pizzle barking out some changes. Looks to the middle, looks to the left, delivering over the middle to Hyatt and able to throw into a small window. Middle linebacker on the tackle that time, but not before Hyatt gets the first.
Confidence is not wavering with the quarterback right now. Even though you're down big right now, you're trying, especially as a coaching staff, you want to see this young quarterback not lose his confidence because the moment he starts losing his confidence, everybody else on the team starts seeing it, and then you have to right the ship.
Empty set once again. This time on the right hash. 3 on the boundary side, 2 on the field side. Pimp Pizzle drops back 7 this time. Looks to the left and delivers to the left. And that's Holiday. Short of the yard to gain, just a 4-yard gain on that play. Still positive yardage. And that's essential for this freshman quarterback to get successes like that.
Oh yeah, you have to, man. Especially these young guys, you need them to get success, to put them in situations to be successful early.
4 whiteouts this time. Shotgun formation. Jabari Small in the backfield with Pimp Pizzle. Pimp Pizzle dropping back. Short drop this time. 3-yard step. And that time it's over the top to Hyatt. And nobody can match Hyatt's speed. That time he gets over the top. And he's able to deliver a great ball to him. What do you think about that play?
Hey, what have we been saying all game, man? The press of the Texas DBs has been boom or bust for the most part of this game. And Hyatt just being Hyatt, making another play, great release, and Tennessee's back on the board.
Yeah, that time throwing to the right sideline. from a left-handed thrower. An impressive throw there by the freshman.
That's something you do as a coaching staff when the OC and the quarterback coach meet with him next week or on Monday. They'll show him a bunch of plus plays, and that'll be right at the top. Across your body, perfect fade ball right in the breadbasket. You love to see it.
And the special teams play is always an interesting storyline to watch every single week. And this time we have a defensive penalty clipping. Looked like that was called on the Longhorns, so that's going to set them up at the 11. Which special teams has played better today, Coach?
I honestly, Speedy's had his run today. He's had his two big moments. But honestly, overall, I'm very impressed with the Tennessee special teams, especially their kickoff unit, minus the one that they kind of let get away.
Yeah, there was that one. The other big speedy play I think was a handoff on offense.
Okay.
Ricky this time trying to hit the outside counter. Looked like he was trying to get around the tackle. Was there anyone pulling on that one, Coach?
Yeah, on the counters, you usually like having your backside guard pull, but if those guys don't really get moving a little bit, it can definitely condense everything. And Ricky really didn't have much where to go. But look, George, another still 2 yards with really nothing to work with.
Yeah, incredibly. I mean, that spin move. I mean, I don't understand how he doesn't lose yards on that. Usually, I lose about 5 or 6 yards on that, but he picked up two. Another handoff to Ricky, and he goes up the middle this time. Looked like he was trying to find some softness there on the left, cut it back to the right, and then settled in the center and picked up another two, 3rd and 6. Back to back handoffs to Ricky.
And if you're Coach Klink, right, when you after this game, there's two things you got to be the most impressed with: is how your defensive line played, and minus the one return, how your cover unit on your kickoff has been. The defensive line here for Tennessee has played very well.
Agreed. Agreed. The defensive line at moments, not consistently, not when you always needed it, but at moments has looked somewhat, overwhelming. Fullback in the game on that play, and that's Shipley once again, Coach, and that's the adjustment that needs to be made. And Shipley's just going to fall down right there, like a gentleman.
Yeah, good sportsmanship by Coach Revamp in Shipley right there. You hate to see it for number 29 of Tennessee. He's gotten bit on he's bit on the play action a lot today, but you know it's just a rough situation. The D-backs coach for Tennessee's got to really help him coach him out this week.
Yeah, fullback in once again. Uh, Tight end to the right, Ricky in the backfield. This will probably go to Ricky this time. Looks like Coach is trying to drain the clock without chewing the clock, just to continue that sportsmanship theme. But that's just Ricky being Ricky. Ricky bounces off two defenders like usually defenders sometimes when they're in the backfield like that are little fire hydrants, and they don't look like fire hydrants against Ricky for some reason.
Ricky is the all-time hammer, and everybody else is just a bunch of boxing nails, man. It's just fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes he makes defenders look like empty cardboard boxes out here, Coach.
Yeah, especially those cardboard boxes have been sitting out in the rain for a couple hours.
Oh, they'll just fall down and melt, huh?
But
2:20
yeah,
to play here at the 27, 2nd and 9. Oh, I love this set, Coach. Who runs the two tight ends like this with a fullback?
oh, you already know.
Tell me, Coach. I want to hear it. I want to hear you say it.
Well, if you saw last in the NWO game, you saw I would do this all day.
I love that kind of football. Just, practice a 7-man sled and get the fullback in there and just have your way with the defense, knowing
Yep.
that you got the upper hand, knowing that you got the upper hand, you got the clock on your side and the score on your side. You're at home. You're feeling good about everything.
And the one thing people kind of forget about is when you go to these condensed sets, right? There's a lot of extra gaps this defense has to account for to cover. And that's when people give condensed football a bad rap. But man, it's hard to play disciplined defense against this stuff. It really is. So you got
Yes,
to make sure that every person at least has
in
a
their
gap.
gap. Everybody's in their gap. Talk
Okay.
about it. Tell them, Coach.
Hey, I've seen it in real life, man. You got to be disciplined.
Yeah, especially with the type of runner that you have in Ricky, right?
Man,
Because he
it's
can make a man miss.
He definitely can. He can make more than one man miss. He can make he can make everybody look foolish if he wanted to. But good sportsmanship here, you know, by Texas. You know that this is what you're going to get in the NWO, man. Yeah, everybody here is friendly with each other. You don't necessarily have to be friends, but there has to be a mutual respect here, and we most definitely have that here in the NWO.
Yeah, and if I could just pick your brain one more time on this, because I'm going to be asking the coach in the post game interview. Next week, Texas is going to be going to Iowa. They're going to be traveling to Kinnick, which you have a little bit of familiarity with. What do you see in next week's matchup, coach?
Next week's matchup is a complete contrast of styles. You see the run and gun of Texas, and you see the ground and pound of Iowa. It's going to be a clash of styles, man. And styles make fights, right? And that's going to be an interesting, finesse versus straight power game. That'll be a real treat to watch.
Styles make matchups.
Oh yeah, they do.
Excellent, excellent. Iowa, Iowa in week 4 currently is ranked number 8. What do you think Texas might be ranked come week 5 if they're at
Well,
21 right now?
I would say somewhere in the 17-18 range, if I had to guess.
Yeah, this is an impressive performance, which kind of helps that, right?
Yeah, and you see Pimp Quizzle still fighting, still trying. Coach Link is not giving up on his players. The results already put in the bag, but you got to show you're trying to build a culture here at Tennessee, right? You're trying to show them that no matter what the score is, you got to fight every play. And just throws it away. Yeah.
Yeah, lives to fight another day on that one. It's third down, might be 4 down territory. But great, great decision there. That's the maturity right there from the underclassmen that doesn't hurt you any more than it did.
Right.
Empty set here. Pim Pizzle Jr. drops back to pass, 5-yard drop. Tries to deliver it to Hyatt, but Hyatt gets hit as he tries to come down with it, but just a little bit too much contact in the close coverage on that play.
Yeah, that was a really tight window. I love the confidence by the quarterback. Hyatt's been playing amazing today. You know, Texas just closes, and you've seen it a lot in the second half. They've really tightened up their defense.
And Pizzle dropping far back, has tons of space, able to find Kobe. And Kobe with an impressive catch. Coach, what kind of athlete does it take to make a catch like that?
Takes a special one. It definitely does. Kobe's not the smallest person in the world, and that big fella just went and nice diving catch, making sure he catches it with his hands, not letting it hit his chest, so he goes to the ground, he doesn't bounce off of him. That was a great play.
Yeah, absolutely. Pim Pizzle this time. Shotgun back in backfield was small, having extra time. Now being flushed from the pocket, tries to reach the sideline. Numbers not able and taking a timeout here. 2nd and 7, lost of 7 yards on that one. Great play by the left end there by Texas defense.
Yep. Say the Texas defensive line has definitely stepped up in this second half. You're trying to go for the home run, but you're kind of feeding into what Texas wants you to do right now. They'll give up everything underneath, but they don't want you taking that deep shot. There it is right there. He's like giving everything underneath. You want to throw 5-yard routes with 30 seconds to go in the game? Let him do it.
Yeah.
That's the whole chess match. Is like, what are you willing to give up as a defense, and what do you want to take as an offense?
The loss for Tennessee will drop them to 0-3, and the win for Texas will take them to 2-1.
Oof.
And Pizzle getting tattooed on that one by Scott. Scott able to reach the quarterback here in the mop up duty.
And when you saw that receiver motion, the safety came down and triggered on the blitz, and man, the QB's got to be hurting after that one, George.
4th and 18. 4 wide receiver look. One looks like a tight end to the bunch right. Pim Pizzle looking downfield, going to heave it. That's going to be picked off by Texas. That's going to be their third turnover of the day. So the turnover battle here, 3-1, as that is your final, coach. Texas 55, Tennessee 20.
Yeah, and the big thing with this game is you saw in the second, in the late in the first half, when Texas really got the momentum rolling to make it a two-score game. It was critical for Tennessee to get that stop and kind of slow down the momentum. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get that done with the big kick return and then Juice running it in. And you just kind of saw the more talented team kind of took over the second half, George.
Yeah, Texas's team has a couple athletes that are really difficult to defend. I think we got Coach here. Coach, congratulations on your second victory of season 3. How'd you feel about this game and your offense? What you put up, 55?
We started off a little shaky. Clink was playing some tough ass defense, but we just had to tell the boys to tighten up, forget all that fucking hype shit y'all were talking with your little NIL deals you got going on. We're here to play football at the end of the day.
Appreciate that, Coach. As you look forward to next week in Iowa, what do you know about Bo Nose? I know that you're just still getting over this one. You got to process the film here, but what do you know about Bo Nose?
I know Bo is one tough son of a bitch to bring down. I do know that he's young, but I mean, you got Jimmy Two Blunts as a coach, so it doesn't matter. Them boys are gonna be ready to bring it every single week.
All right, I'm joining the booth here by Coach Brusso. Coach Brusso, what do you have for Pim?
Yeah, Coach Revamp. Well, very well played game. It seems like you guys really took over in the second half. What were the adjustments by the offensive line? 'Cause we saw the pressure from Tennessee getting to the Texas offensive line early. It looks like the tackles were a little bit confused with the stunting that they were showing. Can you kind of go over that, please?
Yeah, early in the game, we were definitely getting clobbered up front. You know how it is. You lose a game up front, you're gonna have a long day. When we went in the locker room, I just told the boys, we're home. We got to use the crowd's energy, and we need to step it up. Plain and simple. We just got to come out here and play football.
Perfect. And say that's all I got, George.
All right, so thank you, Coach Revamp. Great game. We really saw a lot of explosive plays today, and of course, a solid and reliable Texas defense and Ricky Williams Jr. Any final comments or questions before we let you go and celebrate with your team?
No, I just want to tell everybody I appreciate y'all. JT told me I had to wear the hat for the interview, so I told him I would. My girl got me this hat and thought it was super cute, so you know how it is. But I love you, Clink, my brother till the end of time, George, Brusso. I'm sure y'all fucking killed it. I love all y'all pimps. Y'all have a great night.
Thanks for giving us a good one to call. Best winning coach, Revamp TV, coach of the Longhorns.
I think we have Coach Clink joining us, George.
Yeah, I'm here.
Coach Klink, what did you think about your freshman's performance? We noticed that Harrison Bailey was suited up, but on the sidelines today.
I thought he did pretty well considering on how well Texas defense played today. I mean, gotta make some adjustments. Obviously, a freshman, being a freshman out there, that last pick. I mean, I'm really not counting it, but I mean, we did force a couple throws in there. But we definitely got to stick with the running game more. We kind of went away with that a little too soon. Obviously, we couldn't get Pimpizzle's legs going. But overall, I think I was still only 50% throwing, but I mean, he made a lot of smart plays out there today, and then a lot of freshman mistakes. So, I mean, I'm proud with what he did today.
Thanks, Coach. You got Michigan next week. Michigan Wolverines. You're going to be stepping into the big house. Uh, what are you going to try to do to try to build on what you got here? Right, Jabari Small was able to make some great plays. course, Hyatt was able to break loose on a couple plays. We saw Callaway come down with some catches. What are you going to do next week against the Michigan Wolverines?
I'm definitely have to make some adjustments just because we lost Adam Roberts with a dislocated ankle for the rest of the season now. So he's not another speedy wideout out there that we can rely on right now. So we're going to have to look and possibly throw in some Jimmy Holiday, another speedster on the team. But overall, just going to try to mix it up a lot more. Obviously, everybody's going to look for Hyatt. But I mean, you can't always stop Hyatt just because I move him around the field a lot. Obviously, I didn't do it today, but next week you can see a lot of different things. I think.
Coach, I got one for you if you're still available.
Yes, sir.
So, at least from a football perspective, looking at it, I think the two big things you can take, or three big things you can take away with. One you already mentioned is your quarterback. You know, he made some smart plays, he made some not so smart plays at times, but there is progression you can build on. Right, there's some positive you can take out of this game. I think the big two things that you looked at, you know, your defensive line, especially in the run game for the most part, and even in the pass rushing game, played pretty well. You know, Ricky got his touches, he kind of did his thing. But, and especially your special teams on your cover unit, minus that one that Speedy kind of broke out a little bit. But talk about how your defensive line has kind of progressed this year, and how have you prioritized your special teams in practice?
Special teams is been a big thing just because NWO, you always get that big factor of people always breaking up big kick returns. So we've been prioritizing that a lot. But defensive line has come a long way this year. Obviously, we're still not getting the pressure that we want. Um, as you saw, Juice being able to throw bombs down the field. Secondary's definitely got to come together somehow, some way. So, but the pressure today was more than I've seen the first two games. So I mean, that's a big plus on our side right now. We just got to progress more on it and just keep fighting. I mean, we keep fighting every game. Um, Obviously, I wish I could have changed maybe kicking the first field goal there instead of going on fourth down. Um, but like you said, a quarterback, we do got an upside on him. We just got to fix some things, and we'll get him on straight next week.
I appreciate it, Coach.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. Well, we had a second matchup on schedule for this evening in a doubleheader, but due to connectivity issues from Mediacom, you could go suck my. Um, we're gonna not have that second doubleheader tonight. That's gonna be a pushed game, maybe till tomorrow night. We'll keep you posted on that one. That's gonna be between Iowa and USC. Iowa coming off of a victory and USC 0-3 at this point. Coach, thank you for joining us. How was it? How was the call?
It was fun, man. You know, any form of football is fun for all of us coaches in the building. So to have an opportunity to actually give back a little bit, I know I've been kind of busy, you know, having to be doing the IRL head football coaching deal, but definitely appreciate getting on here and kind of hanging out with you guys.
All the pleasure was on this side of the table. And you definitely bring something that it's going to make me step up my game when we do these calls. But thank you for joining us this evening. And good luck to you the rest of the way, Coach. And thanks to JT for producing the game. We'll see if we get a raid out to somebody here. And appreciate the community. Appreciate you guys. Coach, I'll give you the last word.
Hey, an amazing game here today. You know, two very talented, very athletic football teams. But I think the more complete team and the team that, like we said, did not make the most mistakes, kind of pulled away and won this football game. But tune into the next time the NWO comes in for football games. You know, subscribe. You know, drop the follow to the channel. Follow us on Twitter. The link is down in the description for us, and you'll see a lot more high powered action here soon.
Thank Thank you so much, Coach. Thanks for doing that. I'm going to mute on up and let the raid wave take us. Have a good evening, everyone. And we're clear. Great game, boys. Great call, Coach.
It was fun. That was fun. Trying not to get too wordy on